Hey guys, I wanted to hop on today to talk about a concept you have probably heard, or if you're just starting to explore the idea of freelance, you're going to hear it. And that is the idea that freelance is risky. As in, you're going to hear your parents say, "Oh, don't freelance, that's risky," or your friends, or whomever. Or maybe you are starting to think it, or hear it, or anything along those lines. And is freelancing risky? Yes, the way that most people do it. So why do people think freelancing is risky? People think freelancing is risky because they don't understand where their next client is going to come from. They don't understand how they're getting leads. They don't understand how that's going to happen. For most people who are diving into going freelance, it's done without plan, or they kind of think that when they announce to the world that they're freelance, that some clients will come, or maybe even arguably worse, they go on a site like Upwork or Freelancer or something like that, and they think they're going to be able to get work there, and which is a whole other conversation about why those sites are so terrible, and why they're just going to end up either with why you'll end up with underpaid work, or you will end up very discouraged. And yeah, if you're freelancing in those ways, which we would call like kind of the wishing and hoping, freelancing is risky. When you don't know where your next opportunities are coming from, freelancing is risky. That's where you get into that concept of peaks and valleys, right? An ebb and flow of work, or the very scary concept of dry spells. And yeah, dry spells are very real. Feast or famine is very real when you are not in control of where your opportunities are coming from. Wishing and hoping is not a strategy. But when you go into freelancing, understanding and with a proven, repeatable system for finding clients, for researching clients, for reaching out to clients, and for landing clients, and you rinse and repeat, you don't face that ebb and flow, because you consistently do that, of course, you don't have to worry about that ebb and flow, or that feast and famine, because you are in control of your opportunities. If you want more income, you dial up your system. If you're busy, if you've got a lot of clients, you dial it back. Of course, though, you never completely stop reaching out, and you never stop running your system, because when you do, that is where the dry spells come from. That is where the famine part of the feast and famine comes from. Because when you stop doing that outreach, when you stop nurturing those opportunities, that's when you get to the point where all of a sudden you realize this project wrapped up and you don't have another project lined up yet. That is where the feast and famine comes in. When you stop executing on your system for finding, sending very, very value-based pitches, the kinds of pitches that companies are glad to receive, welcome them, the kinds of pitches that they welcome is probably a better way to say it. When you are doing that regularly, then you regularly have opportunities coming in, and you can control your income and you can control your workflow. But when you're not doing that, or as there are a lot of freelancers out there don't know how to do that, and they are kind of waiting and hoping maybe for referrals, or they're hoping they're going to get work from friends of friends, or like I said, they're going on Upwork or Freelancer and wasting a lot of time trying to underbid other people for projects. They're not in control of their income. They're putting the control in someone else's hands. And when you put the control of your income and your opportunities in someone else's hands, then yeah, freelancing is risky. Wishing and hoping is not a strategy. You can be very successful at freelancing when you execute on, when you learn and execute on, and keep executing on a proven system. And that's when freelancing isn't risky. And that's when people thrive. And it's, I don't know what to tell you. It's very, very possible. Very doable. You just have to work the system. You cannot wish and hope. Wishing and hoping is not a strategy. A real formula, a real framework is a strategy. So you execute on it. So there you go. Is freelancing risky? Yeah, the way that a lot of people do it. But does it have to be risky? Absolutely not. You can thrive. And, a lot of our students will say, I'm making more money than I ever did in my full-time job. Great. Mission accomplished.